Sometimes you are the light. Sometimes you are the one holding the candle for someone lost in the dark. Your presence, your steadiness, your refusal to give in, these are rays that pierce through the heaviness for another person. And sometimes someone else will be the light for you, showing you the path when your own flame feels like it's burning out. Both roles matter. Both remind us that light shared is light multiplied. Darkness thrives in fear and division, but light grows in unity. When people join their lights together, acts of courage, moments of truth-telling, quiet compassion, the darkness loses its power. A single flame can hold its own, but 1,000 flames together can make the night retreat entirely. That is why those who fear the light work so hard to keep people isolated and silent. But the truth remains, darkness is temporary. Light is eternal. Long after the shadows have faded, long after the lies have been exposed, long after the cruelty has crumbled, light will still be there, unchanged, undiminished. It outlives the night not because it fights harder, but because it is made of something darkness can never touch. So trust it. Trust that the light you carry, no matter how small it feels, is enough to outlast what you are facing. Trust that even if you cannot see the sun yet, it is already on its way back. Trust that no matter how strong the night feels, the dawn is inevitable. Light may be patient, but it is also certain, and when it comes, it does not just return, it stays. They may wound you, blame you, twist your truth, and try to bury your light beneath shadows. But you are not their lies, nor their cruelty, nor their fear. You are the keeper of your dignity, the guardian of your peace, the steady flame that will not be put out. Pain is not your shame. Silence can be your strength, and truth, unyielding, unhurried, will always rise to meet the day. In the end, light outlives darkness, and those who stand in integrity will always outlast the noise. So walk forward unshaken, carrying the quiet power of knowing who you are. So when someone tries to lay their coward's blanket over your shoulders, refuse it. Let it fall to the ground. It is not yours to wear. Keep your own covering, the one made of honesty, self-respect, and courage. In the end, that is the only protection that endures. The coward's blanket will fray and fade, but the strength of a clean conscience will never wear thin. Your silence can be power, not the silence of fear, not the kind born of surrender, but the silence that stands like a mountain, solid, immovable, unshaken by storms. It is the silence that does not waste itself on convincing those determined not to hear, the silence that refuses to feed the hunger of lies with endless explanations. In a world that glorifies noise, silence is often misunderstood. People will take your stillness as weakness. They will think that because you are not speaking, you have no defense. They will mistake your restraint for surrender. But silence, when chosen, is not emptiness, it is strategy. It is a refusal to engage in battles that cost you more than they give back. Words can be precious, but when thrown into the ears of those who will not listen, they become like seeds cast onto stone. You can exhaust yourself explaining the truth, clarifying your heart, defending your name, only to find your words twisted, your intentions questioned, your energy drained. Silence in those moments is a shield. It protects your peace. It preserves your strength for battles that matter. There is a silence that says, I am still here, but I will not dance to the rhythm you set. It is the silence that belongs to those who know their worth and refuse to prove it. That silence is not passive. It is active, deliberate, and deeply rooted in self-respect. You choose not to react because you understand that not every fire deserves your breath to fan its flames. Silence can also expose. When a lie is met with noise, the lie can hide behind the argument, but when a lie stands in the open, unanswered, it often reveals itself. People who thrive on provocation grow restless in the absence of reaction. Without your participation, they are left to wrestle with their own words. Without your voice to push against, their accusations echo back to them, hollow and unconvincing. There is wisdom in knowing that not every truth must be shouted. Some truths are like the sunrise. They reveal themselves in time without a single word from you. Your silence is the night before that dawn, the space in which truth gathers its light, and when morning comes, it does not ask for your permission to shine. Silence also gives you the gift of listening. When you are not filling the air with your defense, you can hear what is really being said. You can watch the patterns in behavior, notice the inconsistencies in stories, hear the tones beneath the words. In silence, you become a witness instead of a participant, and witnesses see more than fighters. Of course, silence is not always easy. It takes discipline to resist the urge to correct every falsehood, to let go of the need to be understood by everyone. It takes faith to believe that your character will speak louder than your voice ever could, but that discipline and faith grow stronger every time you choose not to be dragged into chaos. Your silence is not an admission of guilt. It is a statement of confidence. It says, I am not afraid of your words. I do not need to match your noise to hold my truth. It is a reminder that you control your energy, that you decide where your attention goes, that you will not allow someone else's actions to dictate your peace. Some will still misread your silence, but that is not your concern. Your task is not to make every person see you clearly. It is to live in a way that, when the noise fades, the truth remains. And truth has a way of standing tall when the dust settles, even if you never uttered a word. So, when the urge rises to defend yourself to those who twist your intentions, remember that silence can speak in a language only the patient understand. It can stand as a monument to your restraint, a quiet rebellion against the chaos, a signal to the world that you are not easily moved. Your silence can be power because it cannot be interrupted, twisted, or undone. It belongs to you entirely, and when you choose it with intention, it becomes not an absence of voice, but the loudest declaration you will ever make. Rise in dignity. Rise even when they expect you to stay on the ground, even when their words are meant to keep you small. Rise with the grace that refuses to mirror the ugliness aimed at you. Rise without the need for revenge, without the urge to match their pettiness. Rise because your worth is not defined by the hands that try to pull you down. Dignity is not arrogance. It is not a crown you wear to tower over others. Dignity is the quiet knowledge of your own value. It is the steady refusal to let someone else's cruelty write your story. It is the calm in your eyes when the storm is raging, the unshaken step you take after being pushed. It is choosing composure when anger would be easier and grace when bitterness comes knocking. To rise in dignity is to understand that you do not have to win every argument. You do not have to correct every falsehood. You do not have to convince every doubter. Your life lived with integrity will be its own testimony. The truth will walk beside you, even if it takes the long road. You are not here to wrestle in the mud with those who thrive in it. You are here to keep your feet on higher ground. It does not mean you ignore injustice or accept harm. It means you respond with strength that is rooted, not reactive. You hold your boundaries, you protect your peace, but you do not allow their behavior to transform you into someone you are not. They may try to drag you into their chaos, but you rise instead, carrying yourself in a way that says, I know who I am, and nothing you do can take that from me. There will be those who mistake your dignity for weakness. They will think your refusal to lash out means you have no fight in you. But the truth is, dignity is one of the hardest fights of all. It means controlling your impulses when you have every reason to lose control. It means answering cruelty with measured truth. not matching cruelty with cruelty. It means walking away not because you couldn't win, but because the battle wasn't worthy of you. When you rise in dignity, you give no one the satisfaction of seeing you broken. You may feel the weight, you may carry the pain, but you do not let it twist your spirit. You allow yourself to feel every wound without becoming the wound. And that strength, quiet, steady, unyielding, is more powerful than any loud display of defiance. Dignity does not mean you stand alone either. It means you choose your company wisely, surrounding yourself with those who lift you higher rather than those who drag you into their drama. It means you speak your truth without cruelty, and you let others speak theirs without fear. You lead with your character, not your ego. In moments of injustice, rising in dignity can feel like the slower road. The fast road is anger, retaliation, proving a point. But that road often leaves you with more scars than victories. The road of dignity takes patience. It trusts that the truth will have its day, that your consistency will outshine their noise. It trusts that your worth is not something you have to perform. It is something you simply live. Sometimes the greatest rise is a silent one. You walk past the provocation, not because you didn't notice it, but because you chose not to stop for it. You save your energy for building rather than breaking. You focus on what strengthens you rather than what drains you. And in doing so, you prove that you cannot be owned by the ugliness of the moment. So rise, not in haste, not in bitterness, but in dignity. Rise with your head high and your heart intact. Rise knowing that your power is not in proving them wrong, but in proving yourself unshakable. Rise in the way the sun does, without apology, without asking permission, and without needing anyone to acknowledge the light you bring. Rise because your spirit was never meant to stay on the ground. Light outlives darkness. No matter how deep the night feels, no matter how heavy the shadows seem, light remains patient. It does not panic in the presence of darkness. It does not shout to prove it exists. It simply waits for its moment, knowing it will always outlast what tries to cover it. Darkness can feel endless when you are standing inside it. It convinces you that it is all there is, that the warmth you once knew was only a dream. But darkness is only the absence of light. It has no strength of its own. It cannot create, it cannot heal, it cannot endure. It can only cover for a while, and covering is not the same as conquering. Light is quiet power. It doesn't need to overwhelm to win. A single flame in a vast night does not destroy the darkness, but it pushes it back, inch by inch. Even the smallest flicker can change the way the whole space feels. Darkness has no answer to that because it cannot touch the source of light without being dissolved by it. In life, darkness comes in many forms: cruelty, dishonesty, injustice, despair. It can arrive suddenly, like a storm that blocks the sun, or creep in slowly until you hardly notice how much it has dimmed your view. But even then, the light is not gone. It may be hidden, but it is not dead. It may be quiet, but it is not weak. Light is carried in truth, in kindness, in integrity. Every time you speak honestly, every time you choose compassion when bitterness would be easier, every time you hold to your principles when it costs you something, you are keeping the light alive. And that light, though it may seem small, cannot be undone by the deepest night. Darkness tries to convince you that resistance is pointless. It tells you to give up, to join it, to believe that nothing will ever change. But light is patient. It doesn't need to match darkness blow for blow. It simply keeps showing up, like the sun after the longest winter, like the stars that burn for thousands of years without asking for recognition. There will be times when it feels as though darkness is winning, when you wonder if the light will ever break through. In those moments, remember that light's nature is endurance. It does not disappear just because you cannot see it. It gathers itself, waits for the right moment, and when it returns, It does so with a quiet certainty that no shadow can withstand. Sometimes you are the light. Sometimes you are the one holding the candle for someone lost in the dark. Your presence, your steadiness, your refusal to give in, these are rays that pierce through the heaviness for another person. And sometimes someone else will be the light for you, showing you the path when your own flame feels like it's burning out. Both roles matter. Both remind us that light shared is light multiplied. Darkness thrives in fear and division, but light grows in unity. When people join their lights together, acts of courage, moments of truth-telling, quiet compassion, the darkness loses its power. A single flame can hold its own, but 1,000 flames together can make the night retreat entirely. That is why those who fear the light work so hard to keep people isolated and silent. But the truth remains, darkness is temporary. Light is eternal. Long after the shadows have faded, long after the lies have been exposed, long after the cruelty has crumbled, light will still be there, unchanged, undiminished. It outlives the night not because it fights harder, but because it is made of something darkness can never touch. So trust it. Trust that the light you carry, no matter how small it feels, is enough to outlast what you are facing. Trust that even if you cannot see the sun yet, it is already on its way back. Trust that no matter how strong the night feels, the dawn is inevitable. Light may be patient, but it is also certain, and when it comes, it does not just return, it stays. They may wound you, blame you, twist your truth, and try to bury your light beneath shadows. But you are not their lies, nor their cruelty, nor their fear. You are the keeper of your dignity, the guardian of your peace, the steady flame that will not be put out. Pain is not your shame. Silence can be your strength, and truth, unyielding, unhurried, will always rise to meet the day. In the end, light outlives darkness, and those who stand in integrity will always outlast the noise. So walk forward unshaken, carrying the quiet power of knowing who you are.